I chose Miami University because I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and Miami had a great reputation. I went to Lakewood High School, and there were a lot of alumni from Lakewood High School that had gone to Miami. I was sold after I made my first visit down to Miami University. The campus was exactly what I thought a college campus should be and what a college experience would be. And so I applied and got in, and really Miami was my first choice, and that's, as soon as I got the acceptance, that's why I came here. My father was a creative director in the advertising business, so I kind of grew up being exposed to advertising and marketing. I'd gone with him to produce some radio spots and things like that. So I knew that that was a career interest. So immediately, mass comm was the major that I picked, and I never veered off into any other direction, and I've been happy with my career choice. One of the first courses that we had to take as mass comm majors was Intro to Mass Comm with Dr. Bob Vogel. And that was just an incredible course to me. He did such a wonderful job of really explaining the power of the media and the power you could have as a communicator in the world. And so to me, that was kind of one of the courses that really cemented my reasoning for wanting to go into this field. One of the professors that had a great impact on me while I was here was Dr. Howard Kleinman. He taught all the production classes that we had at Miami, and his energy and his enthusiasm really made me excited about the career choice that I had made, and understanding how you could use production to actually get the messages across that you wanted to get across. And so he's really been very influential. We've kept in touch over the 28 years that I've been out of Miami. I'm in corporate communications right now, and so I've always worked for businesses, or when I had my own business, and had a lot of clients that were corporations. And I think probably the best thing that I've brought to my clients is my critical thinking skills, and I credit Miami a lot for the critical thinking skills that I have developed. I think the fact that you get such a good broad-based education at Miami University, all the different courses you're exposed to in terms of, I took Western civilization, philosophy, and botany, and having to have that kind of very broad base of education helps you just as a thinker. Business courses, I took that, and I think, aside from just my communication skills, my ability to really strategically think through problems and try and help businesses through communication reach their mission and their goals and things like that has all come out of what I learned at Miami from the different professors that I worked in. And I don't think I really realized at the time that I was taking those courses that I was gaining those skills. It's not until I was out for, maybe 5 or 10 years that I started reflecting back and saying, sometimes I feel like I have stronger critical thinking skills than maybe other people that are, in my industries, and I think it was my Miami education that actually helped with that. As a communication person, I love projects. I've been in a lot of different roles as in my career. I've been in management, I've been communication specialist, I've had my own business. What I have learned about myself is that I really don't like the management. I love project coordination, I love being involved in the creative process, I love pulling in people that are experts, graphic designers and thinkers and production people and all that, and pulling that all together. So that's probably the most rewarding thing, is just the being part of a collaborative effort to actually take something from an idea to a finished product. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm actually going to be turning 50 this year. So I'm in an interesting phase of my career. I think, and I think it just in my personal and professional development, I'm kind of becoming more aware of things going on in the world and social issues, and so that's become a real interest for me. So I've actually kind of scaled back in my career. I'm working 2 days a week, but I'm very involved. I live in Canton. I'm very involved with Stark County United Way, and I'm actually going to be getting more involved this year. And I think a future path for me may be nonprofit leadership. I have a real interest in maybe getting involved in a small social service agency and leading that down the road. So that may be where you see me in 10 years, or I have business plans that I'm also looking at for new businesses. So there's a lot of things that I think the future is wide open, and it is an interesting phase of my life, going from a 50 to a 60-year-old, and I'm starting to really focus on the things that really interest me and that where I think I can actually make an impact on the world. Internships are a really valuable experience when you're in college, and I was very fortunate to be able to get an internship while I was here with a company called VideoWorks, which is a video production facility in Cincinnati that was led by another Miami alum, Jeff Gardner. And I think I learned a lot of great things during that internship in terms of work ethic, in terms of being the first one there and the last one to leave. If there was a job that needed to be done, that I could handle, I would try and stay over and get it done so that on days I wasn't there, that job was already taken care of. It was something that they didn't have to worry about. And even though there were things that I would do as an intern that, you know, didn't really feel like it took that much skill to go get coffee for somebody or carry equipment, I was gaining a lot just from being in that business environment and seeing the interaction that went on between the different people that were part of a production team, or the interaction that went on with the clients. So I think that that's probably one of the most valuable things that you can do while you're a Miami student, is to get an internship. When you're at Miami, one of the most important things you can do is to just get involved. There's so many organizations that can give you the skills that you need, especially in PR or communications, that will give you some of that outside experience that you're not going to get into the classroom. The other thing that I think is really important is for students to learn to kind of define the network that they already have in their lives of people that are maybe working for corporations that have public relations people that they can tap into and do some information interviews with. I believe information interviews are probably one of the best kept secrets in terms of getting your foot in the door and learning what you want to do and what you don't want to do. When you're a college student, people want to help you, and you can call people that work at different organizations that are in PR or in fund development, doing these kind of jobs that you think you might be interested in. And a lot of times if you say, could I just come in and talk to you for 15 or 20 minutes? I'd like to learn more about what you do. I'm trying to figure out my own career path. They're usually very willing to let you come in and spend a little bit of time with you. It's a very non-threatening way for people to be open to you, because nobody really likes to tell a student, no, I can't hire you for an internship, or no, I can't give you a job. But they're happy to just share their experience. So if you're coming in just to learn from them, they're usually pretty willing to open the door. And especially when you're at a student age. It gets a little harder when you're older, but when you're a college student, people want to help you. And so that's probably one of the things that I really recommend for students to do.